Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
It's time for Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here is your host, the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
As I was walking down the street one day.
Welcome in, glorious Monday morning. Nice to have you aboard. Do you know what Justin Thomas's chances of winning the PGA Championship before they teed off yesterday? This is according to the ESPN forecaster. At Southern Hills, before he hits the first tee, J-Mo, what did the forecaster say his chances of winning were?
8-1.
No, it's a percentage.
Oh, that I should know how to do 8-1 in percentage form, but I don't.
You're way too high anyway.
Yeah, that's too bad. 31%.
No. He started off 7 strokes behind the leader. He was 2 under, and the leader was 9 under. That was Mito Pereira.
Who can crush the ball, by the way.
Who some may be calling Meathead today. I don't know. No, his chances, according to the ESPN forecaster, were 1.2%. 1.2%.
It's like 45-1. I don't know if that's right either.
Well, that would be closer. No, it's probably not. Be like 99-1.
There you go.
Or 98-1. Anyway, bottom line is, gosh, has he got a great sand game, right? And I hate to say this, but Mito Pereira became Jean Van de Vel. You know what I really feel sorry for? Before his blunder on 18, where he should not have hit driver, although he did hit driver in the other rounds, and he was successful with it. So he just didn't execute. Maybe he got tight. But here's what happens. Do you realize how close he was to winning this thing? He was a quarter inch away. On 17, he's got a birdie putt that looks like it's in, and it stops a quarter inch, less than a roll away. If that goes down, he's going to win this tournament. He is. He's going to win this tournament. He got so nervous on 18, realizing he had to have a par, that he miscalculated, or he didn't miscalculate, he just didn't execute. He did not finish the swing, left it right, and he got unlucky. It hit the hillside and went in the water. And then he just hit bad shots. It got to him. I felt really bad for him. I hope there's a major in there for him, because it could have been. I will say this: Justin Thomas, if he's in the bunker, he's definitely getting up and down. I don't believe he missed an up and down the whole final round from the sand, and he was in the sand plenty. And in fact, during regulation on 17, which really was the pivotal hole, won that over Will Zalatoris. If he gets the same shot, is a little bit with more of a cut, it hits a hill, and instead of going into the trap, it goes onto the green. In regulation, he actually played for it to go into the trap because he knows he can get up and down and get a birdie, and he did. He did in regulation, and then he hit the shot of the tournament with a cut shot on 17. But both PGAs that he's won. He's won 2 majors now and 15 tour tournaments. That's pretty heady stuff.
And that course in particular, getting out of the bunker, that was the difference in, like, not only his game, but I felt like the whole field. That was the difference in scoring well or not scoring well all weekend.
He's amazing with that. And he hit under pressure. One of the best shots you're going to see. Will Zalatoris had the advantage on the first hole. He got there in 2, and Justin Thomas laid up on 13, which is a par 5, and then hit a great third shot, and you knew he was going to birdie it. It was like an 8-footer. He's not going to miss that. Hey, he was terrific, and I'm not a big fan of his, honestly, because I think he's got some attitude issues that were maybe on display when he won the FedEx, but he's a great player. 15 tour wins tells you he's a great player. 2 majors now, that's really all you need to make the Hall of Fame. multiple double-digit wins and 2 majors, you're a Hall of Famer, I think. We'll ask Ted Butler about that at 10:45 when 10:45 when he joins us. TJ Reeves, of course, will join us at 10:25. We got a special guest coming your way in about 3-4 minutes, and that is John Thompson, one of the maybe the only guy that has worked at the same time with the 2 feuding SEC coaches, Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban, who, by the way, will be together in Florida for the SEC spring meetings this week. But John Thompson is the one guy that actually worked for both coaches. It's interesting, though. I Googled John Thompson today, and they don't ever have him working at LSU. He only worked there for about a month. Maybe that was it. But he worked with them together. So Jimbo and Nick were at LSU. They were working for Nick, and John was there too. We'll get his take on their feud. So we've got a busy show. And we'll get into this with Ted Butler as well. But, you know, I'm looking at this thing. Mito Pereira, nobody knew who he was before this tournament begins. You got old guys, Bubba Watson, Stuart Sink, they're in contention. Really? Where's Dustin Johnson? Where's Rory McIlroy? Well, he was in contention for a while. He goes up and down. He'll get 3 birdies in a row and then just lose focus.
He started out 4 under through 3 holes, I believe.
I know. Yeah.
It was an unbelievable start.
Yeah. And then he wasn't anywhere near the leaderboard at the end.
Then he was gone.
Yeah. Where's Brooks Koepka? Where's Jordan Spieth? Where's Colin Morikawa? Where's John Rahm? Where's Scotty Scheffler, for that matter, who's the hottest golfer in the world to start the year? Where are those guys? Mito Pereira and Will Zalatoris with Justin Thomas. There was an interesting little graphic they had where it showed tournaments won, and the leaderboard had 6 guys at that time. And the only guy with a win on the PGA Tour was Justin Thomas. And it's crazy. Where are these guys that we thought, I hate to say it, but I'm going to throw Jason Day in there. Of course, I think illness got Jason Day. But, these guys, Dustin Johnson was going to win 10 majors. What?
Well, I heard something interesting about Dustin Johnson is he's changed his putter like every week for the last 8 weeks, just trying to get a new feel or something like that. That's when you know things are when things aren't going well. Is when you're making changes like that.
Yeah, I got a friend that likes to say, it ain't the tools, it's the carpenter.
Well, I think that's plagued Rory in the past, too, is being, too particular that way.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just a game of golf. But I'll tell you what, Mito Pereira, though, even though he's come out of nowhere, I didn't know who he was before the other day, that guy crushes the ball. I mean, he really hits the ball. I like watching him play golf.
All right, let's get a hold of John Thompson, and then we'll get more into this with Ted Butler. We also will give you medals, hopefully, at the end of this segment, right after we talk to John Thompson. In the NBA, it's pretty apparent who knows who's going to win the East. And that's crazy. Nobody wants home court advantage. It's the nuttiest thing I've ever seen. Adebayo was crazy good. Jimmy Butler is hurt. Who knows what will happen there? And it is over in the West. Nobody's ever come back from down 3-love. So how in the world will Dallas come back in this one? No one's ever recovered, and they won't either. Maybe they'll win Game 4. I don't know, but it'll end in 4 or 5. That is for certain. In the meantime, let's head to. I'm not sure. I know he lives in Atlanta now. I think he's on some golf journey out west. John Thompson, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, man. How are you guys doing?
Great. Are you playing Southern Hills today? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm a business trip, Dave.
Business trip.
I'm in Arizona, and this is the 5th straight day. So
how's your back holding up?
We have an early tea time. I'm going off in probably
20 minutes.
Less than 20 minutes. So
is your back
all good?
Is your back
all good
up?
out here at True North? Beautiful.
Ooh.
Not a cloud in the sky.
Excellent.
About 95.
I know you're going to enjoy that. The reason we wanted you on is you're a link. You may be the only person, particularly at that time in the early 2000s, that worked with both Nick Saban and for Nick Saban and with Jimbo Fisher on the LSU football team. And, of course, those 2 guys are going to see each other this week at the SEC spring meetings, and there is no love lost. The gloves are off, as Jimbo Fisher has said. What's your take on this squabble between the two giants in college football?
Well, it's when you kind of analyze what kind of both of them have said, in my opinion, both of them are right. And I think Nick was trying to, get the boys down in Birmingham to be aware of what's going on with the collectives, which is a new term in our in the recruiting world. So and then Jimbo had to fire back because when you use the word bought, that's is that true or is that?
Well, it is true.
Not true.
I guess what? In my mind, it's true, and I'm going to tell you why, John. And I love your take on this, but every one of those guys is guaranteed NIL money. It's legal. All Jimbo had to say was, "Hey, Nick has a quarterback who he bragged made $1 million last year through NIL. What we're doing is NIL money. That is the way the setup is now. It's totally legal. But him saying he's not paying anything, that's just the distortion."
Well, I guess it kind of goes back to like, what does is mean? Back in maybe back in the Clinton days, but the NCAA, man, is just wilted, in their leadership, and there's got to be some kind of control. The toothpaste is out of the tube. It is really, really sad, and it's sad that these two guys are doing. I've known both of them for quite a while. Jimbo. When I was at Memphis, this is in 1999, and Rich Rodriguez was the offensive coordinator at Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, Jimbo and I were going to Texas Tech. Rich Rod was going to be the head coach at Texas Tech. Jimbo and I were going as the coordinators, offense and defense, respectively. And then the deal fell through right at the last moment. But what's interesting about that, Mike Leach is the one that ended up getting the job.
Right.
So what about that? Would have been a little bit crazy.
Oh man.
If that, but it's both guys now. I mean, and Jimbo's a fighter. He's going to step up. I mean, he comes from the Bowden clan, and I mean that perspective. And he's going to step back up. And I think when Nick used the word bought, then Jimbo takes a turn on it and says, no, it was legal, so that's not bought. And then, but to your point, it is buying. So it's a tough deal. And both of these guys are going to stand their ground because they have to, because of their leadership roles. They can't let one another talk about the other one.
Well, let me just say, he said he bought him. I think there's truth to that. Here's the next thing, though. Jimbo, in his anger, calls him a narcissist. Okay, I think everybody could probably buy that one. But he also basically says, ask any coach who's ever worked for him, and you'll find some stuff. He basically is calling him a cheater.
What is stuff? We're getting into what does stuff mean.
Yeah.
When I left, I mean, I can just, from a personal story with kind of both of them, when I left LSU, I'd only been there 28 days. And on January the 2nd, Houston Nutt called me and offered me a job at Arkansas. Arkansas was my dream job. That's the only reason I left Nick Saban. I had no problems with Nick. There's been a lot of rumors. And, obviously there's a lot of things said. Not very few of them are true. All right. But when Houston called me and not offered me the job at Arkansas, and then I said, Houston, you going to call him or am I? You go ahead and call him. So when I call Coach Saban, it was, shall we say, not a pleasant call at all.
I'll bet.
Which that was okay. I was still, I was like, hey, I've got the job I've wanted all my life. Well, then maybe he got the phone numbers wrong, but he calls my wife, Charlene, and looking for me. Well, we had just talked 2 minutes before. I was in some town in Louisiana recruiting, and that was not a pleasant phone call to her. So, and then I go back to Baton Rouge trying to pack up all my stuff, and then I had to change. I had to change hotels. I was living in a hotel at the time before the family got there, and everybody found out where I was staying in terms of media, and it was pretty brutal. I had to change hotels, and then the next day I go in to formally tell him, okay, I'm gone. It was that was not a pleasant conversation. And then while I was in there, Roy Kramer, I don't know if you remember the commissioner.
Oh, of course I do. Yeah.
Well, Nick takes a phone call allegedly from Roy Kramer, and I'd always thought, even while I was sitting there, like, I'm not sure there's anybody on the other line.
Right.
And Nick let it be known how he felt about the SEC, about the commissioner, about Arkansas, about me, about Houston Nutt, everybody.
Wow.
And then he slams the phone down. I don't know if there was anybody on the other line, but he was making a point. And that's what Nick was doing the other day. And Jimbo was with him for so long. That's how the two guys make a point, out of anger as much as anything else.
I do think there's truth into probably what everybody, what both guys said. First of all, the point is that Nick's correct. They've got to figure out some sort of national way to have, for lack of a better term, a salary cap, I guess.
Well, it's sad.
And everybody is doing that. But when Jimbo calls him basically a cheater, and you talk to other guys, I guess, to put it bluntly, did you ever see any of that he's alluding to?
No, Dave, you and I have known each other a long time.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you think I'm going to answer that question?
No, but you know me a long time. No. Did you think I wouldn't ask you?
Exactly. I knew you would. And the answer to that is no. I never saw any cheating. I did not. And I say that first statement as for humor, but no. And I was there 28 days. I'm not saying, I was only there a short time, but no, we didn't. I saw him be very, very tough. I saw him be very, very point driven. There was a story that got out about us that I got us lost on a recruiting trip, and he kicked me out of the car.
Yes, I've heard that.
Well, I was in the car. I was not driving.
Huh.
Another guy was driving, and when he got on the guy for a couple of other things, the guy was just kind of running his mouth too much. He was not a coach, or he was just a booster taking us to this guy's house. Oh, I was wanting to crawl out the back window. It was brutal.
Yeah,
absolutely brutal.
Yeah,
and that's how, and through that, and I think Jimbo came back and turned the tables on him and treated him kind of the same way that Jimbo has maybe seen Coach Saban be.
I think that's 100% correct. All right, last thing, because I know you got to go warm up. You're old now.
I'm already loose, man.
Okay, good.
I'm good.
Okay. But tell me this: do you think Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban will ever be buddies again?
Heck to the no. No, I do not. I do not at all. Unless you got to have a personality like Lane Kiffin. I mean, to be able to do that. I don't think so. Both of those guys are hard-nosed guys. They're going to fight for their. I mean, there's a whole lot of pride and ego and being the face of their program. I mean, Nick has got his job cut out for him. He's got to be. That's the same thing that Jimbo's doing. No, I don't think so. And it's not so bad to have some villains in the sport.
No, it makes those SEC meetings really intriguing this year. All
right. Maybe it could all be a setup. Who knows?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe, but I don't. I don't know. That would be like wrestling right there. I'd love that.
Well, was that not like wrestling the other day?
It was.
Who calls another calls a narcissist or narcissist? However many sisters have got on there. Nobody's ever said that before.
No, but I loved it. I really, and I think a bunch of people who are tired of the dominance of Alabama and Nick Saban probably love it. So it's going to make for a great chapter. John, I got to talk you into coming on more often. That
I'd love to.
We're going to
Appreciate you,
renegotiate
Dave.
in the fall. You go hit them well today at True North.
Hey, I hope I can. It's not likely, but I'm hoping. Hey, tell my man Brett Stats I said hello. Miss you guys. Take care. Appreciate you having me on.
We miss you too. That is John Thompson. Brett, if you're listening, you heard the message. I'm sitting in the Family Leisure Studios. Don't forget the Vacation at Home sale. I don't know if it's going to end when June comes because they'll have another wonderful sale, but I want you to get in on it now. Enjoy time with your family. There are great deals on play gyms and trampolines, $500 off. If you get a hot tub in stock, ready to go, and you can get $1,000 off if you pick it up. If you're a real do-it-yourselfer, you can get a pool. If you'll pick it up and install it, you'll save $1,500. That's quite a bit of cash right there. All you got to do is go see my friends at I-40 and Whidden Road. That is Family Leisure. You know our title sponsor, it's Homer Skelton Hyundai. I passed by their dealership the other day. They got plenty of new cars in. Not as many as we normally see, but they're coming back. And here's the thing about my friend Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai. They'll never charge you more than sticker price. I know there's the law of supply and demand, and I know plenty of dealerships are taking advantage of that. That does not occur. That's why they get so much repeat business. They take care of their people at Homer Skelton Hyundai. All right, before we run out of time, J-Mal, let's give precious medals. I'm going to start with a bronze to Albert Pujols. Albert hit 2 home runs yesterday. You know what that means, don't you? He's 17 from 700. Albert Pujols is the number 5 all-time leading home run hitter behind only Bonds, Aaron, Ruth, and A-Rod. He's 13 from passing A-Rod. I know he's going to get to 700. He's going to end up being number 4 all-time. Isn't that amazing? Golden State Warriors, they win in Dallas last night up 3-0. Curry was unbelievable. He hit the dagger, of course, that wins the game. And I thought Draymond Green played exceptionally well again. Looney's been really good. Since Game 6 in the Memphis series, he's been outstanding. I think that series is over, so I'll give them a bronze. I give Early Voting, who skipped the Derby and decided to be rested and win the Preakness at 5-1. Over Epicenter. Poor Epicenter has finished second now, both in the Derby and in the Preakness. It may be that Early Voting is going to skip the Belmont because 3 weeks isn't in their repertoire. Wow. Could you imagine? You got 2 horses that have won, and none of them are going to run all 3. One of them may only run in the Preakness.
Load management.
They got to change the system. I hate to say it, but they got to change the system. Give a silver medal to 901 FC, who beat Loudon yesterday 3-0. Their goal differential is now plus 12. That's amazing. And believe it or not, they have 25 points. 8-2-1, greatest start in history. It's the first time ever. They are in first place of the entire USL Championship. The best record in both the East, which is the division they're in, and the West. And I got to give Justin Thomas the gold. Second major victory, 15th tournament win. Those credentials get you in the Hall of Fame.
No doubt. My bronze medal goes to Adley Rutschman for the Orioles, who made his debut this weekend with a triple in his first game ever as a Major League Baseball player. Switch hitter, catcher. I really like this guy. He's got a bright future. Bronze medal to him. Silver medal goes to Sandy Alcantara. Really probably should have been a gold for doing something all too rare in baseball nowadays. A complete game. Through 9 innings, 115 pitches, beat the Braves yesterday. Unbelievable outing. No earned runs, 7 strikeouts. A great performance by him. We need more guys pitching 9 innings. And my gold medal goes to the Heat, who, in an unbelievable game, 33 points off of 24 turnovers that were committed by the Boston Celtics.
Does anybody want to have home court advantage in that series?
Apparently not. But Boston's been giving it away. They went on the road and they give one back to the Bucks. They did the same thing to the Heat.
I mean, I really thought, especially after they secured home court advantage, winning in Miami after I thought, you know what, they're going to win the NBA championship. Now I have grave doubts. Marcus Smart seems like he's hurt again.
Yeah, two guys in the
Tatum
locker
has a
room
bad
came
shoulder.
out. Yeah.
I don't know. It does not look good. My Russ goes to the Pittsburgh Pirates. They lost yesterday 18-4. That's their third loss in a row.
Those Cardinals can score, Dave.
Well, let me tell you something. The Cubs, who are not a great team and are 8 games under 500, they beat them earlier this year 23-0. The Pirates' run differential is the worst in baseball, and it is the worst by far. I think it's minus, well, I know it's minus 88. I think the next team, which is the Reds, is minus 64. This is terrible. They can't stop you. They can't pitch.
Just 2 bad games in there, though. My Russ, which I'm sure we'll talk more with TJ Reeves about in a minute, goes to the Panthers defense and Mackenzie Weegar, who's leaving their goalie out to dry, and the Panthers find themselves down 3-0 in this series.
Oh, yeah. We are going to get so much grief in a couple of minutes. TJ Reeves is coming your way next. Yeah, expect it, because he was at the game with his twins and his dad yesterday. He is going to pile it on, I am almost certain. So we go to Tampa in just a second. This portion of the show brought to you by the Spirit Shop. Okay, weekend's over. Big weekend coming up. You may want to watch the NBA. Who knows? You know, the golfers are going to Colonial. You may want some special beverages to enjoy all of that next weekend. Just go see Eddie Connor at Poplar and St. Nick. So conveniently located in East Memphis, right down from Clark Tower. It's 4848 Poplar to be exact. It's that little log cabin you pass forever. They've got everything you need, from a rub on the rim of your glass to special chips that might go well with beer, to all the local IPAs, to Old Dominic, the local distillery, to every bourbon or tequila that you might want, or wines that could be very valuable. I mean, he's got some several $100 bottles of wine, or you can get the newest up-and-comer, and he'll tell you about it. That's the great thing about the Spirit Shop. They educate you. Poplar and St. Nick. Go see Eddie Connor and his family. You'll thank me. And we take this quick pause. Back in a minute to Tampa we go. TJ Reeves is next.
Let former Memphis Tiger Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy take you home every afternoon with Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Looking for a new job? Contact Pro Resume. Sending out hundreds of resumes. No response? Contact Pro Resume. Tired of working for peanuts? Contact Pro Resume. Pro Resume's the resume expert in the Mid-South. Go to ProResume.biz or call 685-1950. The fastest way to a new job.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Your favorite Italian deli, Lucchese's, now ships. For over 25 years, Memphis has trusted Lucchese's to feed their loved ones. And now they've created 4 great comfort food meals that can be shipped across the country to your family and friends. Enjoy lasagna, ravioli, tortellini, spaghetti, Italian spinach, and delicious sauces with no MSGs, no preservatives, and no artificial colors. Lucchese's can ship anywhere in the U.S. All you need to do is go online to lucchese's.com to place your order or call 901-766-9922.
Now, back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
We could be getting a lot of rain later in the week. That's why, if I were you, I'd get to Miramichi right now, because it's beautiful to play, and you know how beautiful Miramichi is. 330 acres of natural beauty. The back nine's like taking a walk in the woods with a meandering stream, and you can play as far back as 7,400 yards. I like to play about 6,300 yards. Golf Week said if you're playing golf in Tennessee, one of the courses you've got to play is Miramichi. You'll understand why. I just love it. It is gorgeous. The green complexes, I think, are about to be perfect. And the prices are very, very reasonable. And it's just 12 minutes north of downtown Memphis. Yeah, it's in Woodstock. You'll love it. You'll love when you finish, you go up and the best view in all of Shelby County. on the terrace. It's that outside full-service bar, televisions, you've got food. It's fantastic. The whole experience, amazing. And tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, if you're a senior, with free golf balls for the range and your cart, $33 to play this course. What a deal. Miramichi. TJ Reeves joins us now. All right. I know you're going to give us a lot of grief. It looks like your Lightning are going to beat the Florida Panthers.
Looks like. First of all, good to be with you. I'm just going over the rendezvous to-go menu to have it shipped in, and I have to say it's fairly reasonably priced for the
when you
for
come.
The combination
here's
packages.
the deal: when you and your dad and the twins, like you went to the game yesterday, when you come
Correct.
in to visit Aunt Dee,
Correct.
that's when you get it. So you've got to come.
Wait. I've got to be in. I don't know. I don't remember that as part of the negotiation. And we have a witness on the other side of the glass who gleefully participated last week
How
on
do you
behalf.
remember that conversation? There
Right,
was no delivery in Tampa for this, was there, J-Mo?
So J-Mo, you gleefully participated a week ago in the Florida Panther Tampa Bay Lightning discussion.
This is
Did I not say that we've got to contact the rendezvous and have it flown to Tampa? Was that not part of that discussion?
You might have, but I think you might be counting your chickens a little bit before they hatch you. I mean, if there's been 3-0 comebacks before.
Let me just say this. I don't remember that particularly negotiated aspect
What are you
of it.
testifying before Congress right now? I don't remember that.
We might have to.
Part of it.
We might have to. Are you telling me, by the way, the Lightning are going to win the Stanley Cup?
I'm telling you right now, you want to bet against them? You were so confident they weren't going to win this series, and the Panthers, who had the best record in the NHL, may not get a game off of them, my friend. So
at this point, it looks like they won't. I can't imagine they wouldn't win in the. Is it the Amalie Center? Amalie Center?
The Amalie Arena. Amalie is a motor oil out of Indianapolis, and they are the corporate sponsor on the name. The Amalie Arena, and they are playing right back tonight in Game 4. So we were at Game 3. I think I can still hear. It was a raucous environment there yesterday. It was wild. You guys got to understand, I tried to tell you last week, the goalie is the biggest key. Andrei Vasilevsky, the goalie, and he stopped 2 or 3 humongous scoring opportunities from the Panthers. And I think he's the biggest key right now to them continuing to advance and succeed.
I think the biggest one is that you have Nikita Khrushchev on that team. And, he goes back to the 60s.
Kucherov has been tremendous. They've got some goal scorers, but again, the goaltending's been great. So this is a lot of fun. I think it is time to start bringing this out. Here is the stat: the last three-peat in the Big Four sports is the Los Angeles Lakers of 2000, 2001, 2002.
That's amazing.
That's the last one.
Wow. Yeah, there's no repeats, let alone three-peats.
Correct. So the conversation has got to start being had if they are now going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals against either Carolina or the Rangers, that they're going to have the opportunity with one more step taken to go for something that hasn't been done in the NBA, Major League Baseball, the NFL, or the National Hockey League since the beginning of this century by Shaq and the late Kobe.
Wow.
And the Lakers, if that is the case.
Here's
one thing. I was talking to him off the air earlier today. My understanding is, with the nuptials pending for young Woloshin this weekend, that our mutual friend George Offman is on the way down.
Yes, he will be.
Can George be my proxy, and can he get in from Chicago, getting in on some of those rendezvous ribs or chicken in my stead this weekend? I know you're paying for everything else this weekend, so you might as well pay for some rendezvous for George. Can we get him in on my Lightning list?
I'm sure. I think George is a Corky's guy or a Central Barbecue guy. Or wait, Germantown Commissary. What am I talking about?
Germantown Commissary. Very nice. Let's work them all in. Absolutely, yes.
There we go.
George is looking forward to being with you, and I did say to him, you just need to hit Wolo up right now because it's damage control time with the hockey situation. So you guys, just before we move on, you guys are now disqualified from prognosticating the rest of the playoffs, seeing as how
you picked
against the Lightning in both series.
I wasn't. No, I picked the Lightning in the first series. I was 8-0 in the first round. This would be the first series I lose.
It's not over yet, though, Dave. You might win it still.
It's over. I hate to say it. It is definitely over.
Dave, step aside for just 1 second. J-Mo, you put on social media that there have been 2 occasions in the National Hockey League since 2010 where a team has come back from 3-0 to win the series. So you did put that out there accurately, correctly. What you did not include is, because I just looked it up before this conversation, there have been 22 series since 2010, 22 of them that have ended in a sweep in the 4th game. So more than likely,
well, that's 9% of the time. 9% of the time, a team wins. Then,
and not all those teams won the President's Trophy either, which is huge. And you mentioned Josh Appel in that tweet, who I'm a huge fan of Josh Appel, and I feel like you were bringing him because I'm a big Marlins fan too, and I feel like you're just bringing the whole city of Miami down. I mean, this series not over yet.
Everybody I could take a swing at there that's got their Panther allegiance and their Miami allegiance, because I was in the arena yesterday. And let's just say this. We had 4 Panther fans around us in the Amalie Arena yesterday, and they actually went berserk on the 1 goal that they got on the first power play goal they've scored in the first 3 games of the series. And after that, it was very quiet, and they left about midway through the 3rd. So that was probably a similar reaction to Miami. So enough about I know you guys are not a big hockey market, but that's our hockey talk and our hockey predictions. What else you got on the agenda besides what you're buying me for the run?
I knew you would be gloating for 5 minutes, and that's exactly what you did. You did not let us down in that regard.
I can't disappoint you on a Monday.
I understand. Please. Tell me about your thoughts on Justin Thomas and what he pulled off yesterday.
Incredible that it was like the reincarnation, not to the same extent, of John Vandeveld. I mean, in specific, this Mitro Pereira from Chile, complete unknown, especially on the world stage, just like Vandeveld, finds his way into command of the tournament on Saturday, is leading the whole way on Sunday. Now, it did eventually get tied about 3-4 holes left.
Yeah, but then he built a lead again.
He's standing on the 72nd hole with the lead, and just like Vandeveld, it's lost on him that all I have to do is put this ball in the fairway. Put this ball in the fairway and make sure that I make par, and I am forever a major champion, and I'm back for the rest of my life as the PGA champion. I get to play this thing into my 60s, 30 more years or more. And instead, for whatever reason, he doesn't contemplate it, his caddy doesn't contemplate it, and puts the ball in the water and amazingly doesn't even get in the playoff.
Well, in defense of him, if I can, and I know everybody's doing the Vandeveld thing because it is a foreigner and the guy ended up in the water. He did not walk in the water like Vandeveld did. That's one. 2, he had played that hole 3 other times using that same club. So I don't think it's the decision so much as it is the execution. He absolutely felt tight. And you know what's a shame, and I mentioned this earlier, but I keep going back to it in my head. He's a quarter inch away from winning this tournament because he had a birdie putt on 17 that he struck beautifully, and it was right on line.
It ended
up a quarter inch away. He's a quarter inch. He's not hitting the ball in the water if he's got a 2-stroke lead. He felt the pressure. There's no doubt.
And to your point, remember Vandeveld's was a 3-shot lead. So that is the all-time meltdown. But at least Vandeveld made the playoff. He got out of the bunker, made the putt, and made the playoff. And you felt for Pereira that he's standing there talking to Amanda Balionis, the interviewer, while they're about to have the playoff. He's not even in the playoff after what happened.
I think Amanda got married now. She's not a Balionis anymore.
Amanda Balionis Renner, I believe. I believe it's Amanda Renner now.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, he's doing the interview, standing there talking to her, while Will Zalatoris and Justin Thomas are headed to the 13th hole to play the aggregate playoff, and you got to give Justin Thomas a lot of credit. 7 shots back when the round began. Yes, Pereira had to back up and hand it to him, but he did what he had to do. Justin Thomas, find a way into that playoff and find a way to win, and he's got another major championship. How about that?
Yeah. All right, last thing for our friend T.J. Reeves down in Tampa today. This week is the SEC spring meetings down in Florida, in your neck of the woods.
Right.
And we've got Jimbo and Nick Saban facing each other. We just had our friend John Thompson on, who worked with Jimbo at the same time for Nick at LSU.
Wow.
It was only for about a month. But so you've got Saban saying that Jimbo bought his team, which is really true, but he did it legally under the system now. And Jimbo taking such offense at sort of being called out that way that he called Nick a cheater. What do you think comes from all of this, and how interesting will these spring meetings be?
what comes of it is much more interest for the SEC that already has massive interest, much more ratings, much more everything, because we'll all care about this. Spurrier has always talked about it as talking season. This is talking season. We're going through talking season right now. So this is the talking season. And he was the forerunner to ripping, whether it was Ray Goff at Georgia or Phil Fulmer or Peyton Manning or Bobby Bowden. Spurrier was the forerunner to all of this. And Greg Sankey, the commissioner, I think, will probably at some point tell them to tone it down. But this is
already
bad
done
for
that.
business.
He's already, I guess, fined them for sportsmanship or whatever the rules. And by the way, Steve Spurrier has weighed in. Spurrier basically called Jimbo Fisher out. He thinks Saban is right, and that Fisher, he says, yeah, he beat him. Maybe that gives him a reason to talk. But what has he won there?
Well, and Spurrier's point, and the point for the people that keep up with the recruiting, is that yes, Jimbo Fisher has been building something at Texas A&M, but in the last 4 years of their recruiting classes, I believe the number is 4. It's either 4 or 5 of the top recruits, 5-star recruits, 4 or 5 of them. They have 7 of them this year, and that was Saban's point, that the way they got that many is they did these deals through the NIL.
Right.
And paid them regardless of whether they were actually really worth that or not. They artificially just said, if you sign with us, this is what we're going to get.
Everybody gets paid, right? But that's legal to do under the guidelines they have right now, which in some respect is really not correct, because you're not supposed to use NIL as enticement once you're there.
Correct.
Once you're there. But if you say, we're not using this as enticement because everybody who comes now, once you're here, you get $50,000.
That's right, if you're big enough. And by the way, and I know you got to go, by the way, Bryce Young, who's the presumptive Heisman Trophy
$1 million
favorite, he's got a 7-figure NIL deal. We all know this, but that's him.
Saban bragged about it last year.
Right. So we get that. We understand that. It's just talking season. It's talking season. I love talking season will continue.
I love it. I know you're going to continue to talk about the Lightning. I am going to continue to say I owe you rendezvous, but you got to come here for it.
Good luck with the nuptials with young Woloshin.
Thank you.
Congrats on that. We will stay in touch. J-Mo, light a candle in the window for the Florida Panthers. It could be over with about 9 o'clock Memphis time tonight, brother.
We'll see.
You guys do well.
I'm sure you will text me if it is. Thank you. That is our man down in Tampa. That is TJ Reese. Brought to you by Conway. Conway Services, heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. So many different facets. But you know the tune-up. And I'm going to say tune-up at least until June, because a lot of you haven't had your air conditioning checked yet. You want your house to be cool. You want your MLGW bill to be reasonable. You got to get the tune-up. $69, 16-point Energy Saver Super Tune-up. They come in. They get everything in harmony. Then they go outside, clean all the dirt and the grime and the leaves out of your outside unit, and then your system is efficient. So it lasts longer, and your bill comes down, and guess what? Your house is cool. 384-3511. That's the number for Conway. Back in a minute, Ted Butler on the PGA and a whole lot more. He comes your way on Wolo and Friends.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Bellyacre's motto is City-Fied Farm Fresh. The goal is simple: provide a fun, unique farm-to-table experience for the whole family. 2 great locations, Regalia at 6130 Poplar and in Overton Square at 2102 Trimble Place. Overton Square hours Sunday through Thursday 11A to 9P, Friday and Saturday 11A to 10P. Regalia Sunday through Thursday 10:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 10:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Signature burgers are made from 100% grass-fed beef. Sandwiches, salads, and the best milkshakes anywhere. The burgers, so good, like the Daria or the Double Daria, and the melt in your mouth. And you have to try the Voodoo Moo Moo. It is the quality brand the Bellyacres team has developed using grass-fed beef with creative homemade toppings in a fun farm setting right here in the city. The goal at Bellyacres, to become even more sustainable as they grow. In Overton Square and in Regalia, the very best quality available in Memphis, burger shakes and smiles at Bellyacres.
Are you ready for the Take It On sales event at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike? Take on high gas prices with 41 MPG Highway in your new 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage G4, $259 a month, or buy for $17,885. Looking for the perfect road trip ride? Take on 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, $359 a month, or buy for $25,285. Plus, award-winning redesigned 2022 Outlander, seat 7, $369 a month, or $29,005, and get the stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 72 months at 3.9. Outlander NZO 68336, MSRP 29505. Sport NU 009708, MSRP 26035. G4 NHF 05848, MSRP 18385. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Can anyone explain to me why anyone would care how I measure your roof? We've all heard about measuring your roof from outer space. Well, to be honest, that's not possible. There are aerial pictures that can be taken every 4 years that can be used to measure most buildings, but it's not from outer space. Besides, no one, and I mean no one, can tell you what's wrong with your roof, or even if you need one, looking at pictures that could be 4 years old. If you'd rather do business with a family-owned and operated business with a lifelong tie to Memphis that refuses to mislead or use gimmicks, give us a call. Best products, best warranties, and the best service we know how to give. Fiveash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Boston's got to get a break. Here's some breaking news. Everybody's wondering about Jimmy Butler. They didn't say anything about Jimmy Butler playing tonight in Miami, but they said Tyler Hero is out of this game. I didn't know he was hurt. I know Jimmy Butler, he played 19 minutes in that game, and they still beat him because Bama Adebayo went crazy. Celtics, by the way, I guess after this news, the Celtics are 7-point favorites tonight. So Marcus Smart must be coming back, right?
They're working miracles in the training staff for the Boston Celtics right now, it seems like.
Crazy. In the meantime, as Mondays go, we always end with Ted Butler, who joins us now from Summer Golf and Games, where he is the preeminent teaching professional in all of Memphis. Ted, good morning. Is there a better sand player than Justin Thomas in the game today?
No. He has become the ultimate sand player and the ultimate shot maker. The way he's hitting that low slice, and then he hits that high fade on the green, 280 yards with a 3-wood. It reminded me of that duck hook he hit on the 16th hole with TPC last year on 16 when he snap hooked it around that corner. He's really, really become a great player, and coming from 7 back to win that tournament, a little help. But the guys comparing Pierre to Vandeveld is ridiculous. I mean, Vandeveld had a 3-shot lead. He could hit 3 9-irons and won that golf tournament. Pierre, he had to hit a drive on 18, and he just didn't.
Do you think, though, as Nick Faldo alluded, that he should have just hit either an iron to keep it in play or even a 3-wood like most people did on that hole instead of going with the driver?
I couldn't believe he was hitting driver.
But he did it in every other round, and it worked for him. I understand that decision.
A lot more pressure on that one, though.
Yeah.
I mean, and then he hit the driver on 17. I couldn't believe that because he laid up the day before with an iron, and it barely cleared the creek. I mean, that was a risky shot.
Yeah.
I think down the pressure, it really did get him. He succumbed a little bit. But,
when you look at his game and you listen to Joaquin Neiman, his buddy, was saying, do you think this Chilean is going to just be like Van de Velde never was. I've seen documentaries on Van de Velde, by the way, and his life turned out to be terrific. I mean, he I forget what business he went in, may have even been some politics, but he's had a very fulfilling life. We sort of all remember him for that collapse, but life went on for him. But I don't believe he was much of a golfer after that. Do you think Piera will be a guy that we'll see at other majors?
I think he and Joaquin Niemann have the strangest golf swings of all time.
They have the same teacher. That's why.
Halfway into the downswing, their head dips about 8 inches. I don't know how they don't break their backs, either one of them. I said a couple of years ago, I thought Niemann couldn't possibly last, but they do. I mean, they somehow, with that goofy-looking follow-through, they survive. They dip and they come up, and it's just funny for me to watch. You know, such a classic amateur fault that they recover from and play great golf.
Well, I hope for this guy that is the case. He deserves.
He's a class guy.
A big. Oh, he's really a class guy. His discussion with Amanda Renner after the round was really first class all the way. What a sportsman. I appreciate it. I hope good things happen for him. All right, you are the biggest Tiger fan, even bigger than me, I think, and you know how much I love Tiger. But I said to you when I talked to you on Friday that I thought, this was the beginning of the end for Tiger. You weren't so sure.
You said he was done.
And then he goes out and shoots 79 on Saturday, and he was done. He didn't even play in the final round. That's the first time that has ever happened in his entire career with 15 majors and 82 wins. That's hard to believe.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is he's going to reevaluate his plans for the rest of the summer now?
Absolutely, but it's the same thing as Augusta. Played the first 2 rounds okay, and then the weather gets ridiculously cold and windy. You know, and he can't play in that kind of weather. You know, and the shot he hit on the 6th hole Saturday, a 4-iron, that came up 3 clubs short because of a gust of wind.
Yeah.
And he makes triple bogey. That was the end right there. There was no way out of that trap. But the way he finished on Friday, shooting 1 under on the last 6 holes to make the cut. I mean, who would ever thought he would have beat Patrick Cantlay, Dustin Johnson, and Scotty Scheffler before the thing teed off? You know, those first 36 holes.
True.
74, 69 was not bad golf.
And I got to say this. The 69 was with a gun to your head because he had fallen behind the cut mark, and he came right back and got under it, and in fact got under it by a stroke. So that was all under pressure. I mean, he had 4 1-putts in a row to do it. I mean, that just shows you that mentally he's still there. I just worry. You know, he said after the Friday round, it hurts to walk, it hurts to twist, it hurts to play golf.
Well, I suspect he probably won't play in the U.S. Open and try and set his sights for St. Andrews. The Open's, which is three weeks away.
Right.
I don't see there's enough recovery time, if it recovers at all. I mean, if the foot is hurting and the leg is hurting and you start flinching and it makes your back hurt because the back's already messed up, it's kind of scary. I mean, I'm the biggest Tiger fan ever, and he the ultimate competitor on that last 9 holes. I mean, after he made that double bogey, I thought, well, he's done. Then he makes a 20-footer for par, and I can't say enough about him. But this may be, I don't know. I hope not.
Well, this was a strange tournament too. I mean, at one point you had on the leaderboard the top 6 guys. The only guy that had won a tournament at that point was Justin Thomas. Bubba Watson and Stewart Cink were more in contention than guys like Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, Jordan Spieth, Colin Morikawa, John Rahm, even Scotty Scheffler. I'm going to throw in Rory there because even though he was in the hunt for a little bit, in the end he was nowhere to be found. What has happened to all these great golfers that we thought we'd see multiple majors with, and none of them are around at the end here?
Well, Scheffler, BJ, and Cantlay all missed the cut. Rory still can't make a putt. I mean, every time he gets 4 under or 5 under, and he starts missing 6-footers again. Jordan, I never figured he'd win a million majors anyway.
Well, heck, he won 3 in 18 months.
Yeah, it was 3 years ago. I mean, he's been in a 3-year slump, and he's just coming back now, and he's playing better. But he still hits those shots off the world.
Yeah.
You know, he iron shots and drives that go to places nobody's ever seen before. And
I guess,
and he's missing a lot of short putts too.
I guess Koepka is hurt, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's hurt too.
Koepka's not the same guy that he was when he was battling with Rory McIlroy in Memphis and blowing him away. Not the same guy at all.
Well, and I think it's the working out. They work so hard that they just beat up their bodies.
That's
all
funny.
Exercises and do.
You say, J-Mo said that about Rory. He said he seems to be more interested in being in great shape than being a great golfer.
Well, yeah. I mean, he is in great shape, but the toll it's taken in the gym it's got to be severe. You know, it's great to be in that kind of shape, and it's great to do all 360 yards, but one twist or one turn, and you got a bad injury.
Yeah. Well, all you have to do is look at Bryson DeChambeau. He can't get healthy because he was a fiend with the way that he did that. And then the last one I want to ask you about is John Rahm. What's happened to the Spaniard? Marriage, and I guess, did he have a baby? I think he had a child, right? Has that just totally distracted him, or what? What do you think is the story on Rahm, who's not the same guy he was a year and a half ago?
Well, it would almost have to be the family part of it in the responsibility. And he said he took time off because he wanted to be a dad. You know, his intensity may not quite be the same. It doesn't take much to get off. You know, you get a stroke or two here and there, and you're not even in contention. So some of that, his ball striking's still good. He gets hot-headed again now and then, but this was just a beast of a golf course. You know, that Saturday round is difficult conditions you could ever imagine playing in.
Well, what's the U.S. Open going to be like then? Tell me your way too early favorite for that.
From what I just witnessed, I think JT, my favorite for everything, forever. He played that well. I don't know. I haven't even thought about that yet.
All right. We'll give you plenty of time to think about it. I know it's Memorial Day, so you're going to be off next week. They're going to be at the Colonial in Fort Worth, which is always a fun tournament to watch. But we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Okay, Dave.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. That is Ted Butler from Summer Golf and Games. He's brought to you by Man, I love Grind City's Poppy's Pills. In fact, that will be served at my son's wedding. That's the Pilsner from home, from Grind City, that is light, crisp, and refreshing. It is a terrific Pilsner. They call it ultra crushable. You know, it's made right here in Memphis, and you can get it in 6-packs or 15-packs. You can ask your favorite retailer about it. It is all over the city of Memphis. It is enjoyed best, in my opinion, ice cold. I love Poppy's Pills when I'm walking off the 18th tee, sweaty, hot, I need something refreshing. Nothing better than that. I love all of the Grind City products. I love Tiger Tail. But in this summer, baby, nothing better than what the doctor ordered, Poppy's Pills, the Pilsner from Grind City. We thank John Thompson. We thank TJ Reeves. We thank Ted Butler. Johnny Radio is next. See you tomorrow.
I know the sweetest thing